You're listening to Critical Mass Radio. Now, it's our turn.
Aloha. It's Gaia Sophia dreaming. Mike speaking here. Much love, much gratitude. Thank you for tuning in and sharing your heart and sending it out. And remember that it connects with everyone. That's how love is shared quite naturally, because we all come from love. That's the vibration of the heart. And, well, we always remain in love. It's the illusion that we're living somewhere else. And that's kind of the game, the duality game that we've been playing. That something is outside of us, whether it's love, beauty, laughter, and all these things we're recognizing come from inside. And when we tune in inside, we can share these outside. So we've had this kind of inside-out effect where we're always seeking outside. And when we have had that moment to have that peace of mind or take that extra breath, the delusion goes away and we recognize what is. And that's what's coming clearer and clearer in different shapes and forms. The actuality, the true reality. What is? Not my opinion, not your opinion. About what could be, what might it be. Because in the grand scheme of things, there ain't a coulda or a might've. This might be this. I'm not sure. Well, we do know. And that's the other aspect of the game that we've been playing, that we don't know. Yeah, I might not know some confusion mathematical formula based on imaginary numbers to solve an equation that's supposed to now show us what is. And I went, what part of that part you just made up that makes this part not real? And so we got to look at that when we're looking at, these high intellectual thought forms in terms of explaining something that we realize is very simple. It's not complicated. I didn't say it was an intricate and beautiful or any of these other things, but it is not complicated. Confusion is complicated. Life isn't confusing. Life is living, breathing, laughing, beauty. The confusion part was when we're playing the authority game, the I'm not worthy, let's go play in that guy's make-believe realm where he keeps making shit up as it goes along. The rules keep changing, that keeps changing, and that's confusing. Nature doesn't play that confusing game. Natural law isn't confusing. So we can masquerade behind all sorts of excuses from ourselves or from outside to say, well, that's what the law is, or that's what they told me to do, when in your heart of hearts you know that quite simply do no harm. And if something is, whether it's spiritually, mentally, or physically causing harm, we recognize there's an imbalance there. And in that imbalance, well, what we're seeing clearer is that's not the natural, organic life we live. That's not the pure flow. And we keep trying to fix that one. And that one's broken for a reason. Because it's a duplicate. And it doesn't have the pure energy source that we keep trying to connect with. How come this doesn't work like this? Because it does not work from your heart, that pure energy source. So it's not resonating with you, and that's why, in many ways, you cannot fix it. It's not meant to be fixed. It doesn't resonate with you. It's basically meant to be discarded. And like that, we no longer, discernment comes in. And this is true discernment in terms of, on a quite simple level, what causes you harm and what doesn't. What might you say or do to cause harm to another? Now, I'm not saying we're all 100% perfect beings in terms of all of our actions are most sublime and never cause harm to another. Well, we're getting here. And what we're also realizing is when we do something that we realize has caused harms to another, we recognize it. And in our conscious heart, we realize it's not an action I want to continue. I'm not going to beat myself up over it, but I'm going to recognize my wrong. My ego's not in the way to say, no, you're justified in doing it. No, I wasn't going up against some big bad bully threat trying to punch me out. No. Generally, it's simpler life things where we can be kinder, gentler souls with others and with ourselves. And this is where life begins, with kindly being with ourselves and with others. That's just small base. And many times we don't, when our lives are busy, we don't have the moment to even do that. It's like you wake up and your mind's already racing. And that's why many people say, meditate. Well, you can call it meditate. Well, it can be anything when we talk meditation. A walk in the park, feet on the grass, sit down with a tree, take a hot bath, look up at the stars at night. All these are forms of meditation. And what it is just you connecting with yourself. And that's kind of the heart of meditation. So you're just tuning back into yourself to come into being, so you're not running around someone else's program, trying to do right. And where quite naturally we don't have to do right. Quite naturally, this is how we express ourselves in our words, in our thoughts, in our actions. And this is our birthright, if you want to say that. And I did. So we kind of, what is our birthright? Well, our birthright is sometimes I got to frame thing in the negative, and then we can come back to the positive. See, many times we have, and this is what I'm clearing here, we haven't seen what was right. Because we've had so many wrongs masquerading as rights, we forgot what our natural birthright is, which is to love, to laugh, to be free, to enjoy precious moments with family and friends and all, and not fleeting moments, really opening moments where this is the majority of our day, not the majority of our day spent slaving for really nothing that adds to the community at large, nothing that adds to your family. It's usually promoting somebody else's business. And I use the word promote even if you're making something or doing something. You're promoting someone else's idea, and this is what's falling. Those falsehoods and that's what business is. It's a false transaction amongst ourselves, and we hide it behind corporations and big business And we say it's business as usual, and that's how it's done. And, well, last time I checked, the thing I just gave to my friend, and, yeah, that was the action I gave, and there was a thank you in return. That's the heart of the matter, where we share and where we give. And this isn't business. When we share and gives to one another, this isn't business. This is natural, where we live together. And we can, I'm not even going to use the word exchange. This is bringing it in terms of business again. We naturally can share and give, no strings attached. Because we got to remember, love, true love, nature represents that. She doesn't charge you for anything. So, again, we see the example every day. Take a breath. It's free. So like this, we see that most of what we've been doing in terms of sharing and giving with another has been in this fictional realm of business that we thought, oh, that's how we do it. No, that's how we do it in the made-up world. The made-up world. And why is it made up? Because it doesn't it doesn't match nature. It doesn't match the nature. It's made up. And when you made up, it's got this other charge to it, which depletes. It doesn't bring energy in or give you a more currency. It actually depletes. So sometimes we think, but it's a charge. Yeah, it's a negative charge. And that's come to an end. We're still playing with it. Doesn't mean that it's alive. It's basically dead. Dead money. Dead currency. And people are, many things are changing. What's going here? What's going there? And it's just like game over. I don't know how many other ways to say it. We put the board back in the box with all the game pieces and tokens. Put the lid back on it. Put it back up on the shelf. Actually, we burned it. Gave it back to source. And thanked it, and next. So in this choice, you have the choice to look at it like this, to see this perspective, and recognize this, or you do still have the choice where the remnant vibrations are still floating in the air to tune in these. You still have some old thought forms stuck in your brain that you keep triggering because you believe in this outside system is the reality, and it's not. It's the game you were playing, but it was not the ground you live on with. So I try not to go into too much detail about it, because once you do, you're giving, in a way, power to something that does not serve you. And so in this regards, don't do it. It's interesting to relate it into different things in life. If you got two pieces of fruit on your table, one is smelling, going rotten, don't eat it. And this is what we're doing with many things in our life, but we haven't had the discernment or clarity to recognize it. And, well, for good reasons. We were messed with. We were asked to be messed with in a way, because we wanted to come back to self. And when you tune back in and you realize that, and you have a moment to take a breath and so-called take a pause on the bullshit, tune into life, tune into living, you can see this clearer. And you don't need it to run your life, because usually it ruins your life and you're not living. You're working, you're sleeping, you're working, you're feeding yourself to get up to go to work. You're not even enjoying your meal. It's just to get to work. You know, it's just so I can get through the day. It's not to sit down and really, oh, thank you for this beautiful food, this nourishment that I get to share and enjoy. And you're just eating for eating's sake. That ain't living. So we're moving out of that system, spiritually, mentally, and physically. So, yeah, time to rejoice, time to replenish, rediscover who you are. And it's not, like I said, it's not a discovering. It's more of a recognizing, remembering who we are, and coming back to the self and the love we have for ourselves and each other. And this is kind of the heart of the matter, and I feel we can do it all a little more, and that's love ourselves. And find that whatever thing that's been bothering you and give it love. The zit on your face, the hair on your back, the funny laugh you have, whatever it may be, love it. Love, love, love it. Say I love you, thank you. Whatever it may be, do you need to say it out loud, in your mind, however it may be, just love it. And Mike, well, how's that going to solve it? Well, it doesn't. It dissolves it. It dissolves the negative imprint you had of yourself. And since you had a negative imprint of yourself, we imprint this on the world and those around us. And say, I don't like that, I don't like that, I don't like that, instead of realizing, well, that's an aspect of self that you're not quite in resonance with. So let's clear that up, love that, and then look outside and see if we still have that projection of what we didn't like. I'm pretty sure that will clear up. Just like your face. So we're moving into this clear face. And this is, well, we have different words for it. Where you're in neutral, you're no longer paralyzed, you're in 0 point, you're in your heart, you're coming from love, you're sharing love. Different ways we can describe how we're in tuned. And when we're in tune, where I'm saying we're in tune with the self. When we're in tune with the self, in tune with our heart, with our being, then we recognize we're in tune with, Gaia Sophia. We're in tune with the planet. We're in tune with the sun, the cosmos. And when we're in tune, we recognize we're in love.
I can see you're thinking, baby, I've been thinking too, about the way we used to be and how to start anew. Maybe I'm a hopeless dreamer, maybe I've got it wrong, but I'm going where the grass is green if you'd like to come along. Back when I was starting out, I always wanted more. But every time I got it, I still felt just like before. Fortune is a fickle friend, I'm tired of chasing fame. And when I look into your eyes, I know you feel the same. sin. I won't say it wasn't fun, but now it has to end. Life is moving oh so fast, I think we should take it slow. Rest our heads upon the grass and listen to it grow. Going where the hills are green and the cars are few and far. Days are full of splendor and at night you can see the stars. Life's been moving oh so fast, I think we should take it slow. Rest our heads upon the grass and listen to it grow.
Aloha and welcome. Good piece of music, a nice breeze, a nice scent of flowers or rosemary herbs. Simple things to remind us of the love that is shared with us always. So aloha, Janet. And is it Elvira?
Aloha.
Aloha.
Yeah, very nice. Nice resonating, and I feel so special to be part of the rhyme of your dreaming show. Beautiful.
Thank you so much. It's 4:22 here in Hawaii Dreamtime. Venus has just come around over the horizon. The moon is still up. Very lovely here. And I hope it's lovely where you are, because we're not in some other location. Our feet are on the same ground. We breathe the same air. We're playing in the same field. I'm very grateful to have these reminders for myself, because there's times where I haven't done these things, where I'll walk right by my rosemary bush. It's right there every time right there at the beginning of my stairs. And she's calling me, this little bush. Well, it ain't little anymore. It's really beautiful. And she's like, just touch me. Many times I just walk right past, and then I'd get that reminder, and I'd rub my hands, take a breath, and oh, thank you so much. You know, the old saying, stop and smell the flowers. It's so true. On many different levels, that simple action can do. It's better than reading a book. Most books, actually. Not to knock people's sharing and expressing through the written word. That direct felt experience, wow, as simple as smelling a flower, tunes you into so many different levels. Not only the scent. Something is shared with you. The memories it brings up in you. The feelings of just bliss almost. Beyond bliss, I want to say. It's just calm, this Well, love. And this is what I'm reminded of when nature is sharing with us. It's sacred. It's sacred love. You really, there's no messing with that. There's no distorting it. You can, when you tune directly in, here it is. There's nothing getting in the way of that, and we recognize that. And too many times in the past, we discounted it. We discounted ourselves. We discounted the planet, nature, what words you want to use to describe or to reference, where we are. And, and I don't limit myself or the planet as just being a physical thing. That's the other aspect we got to realize, that yes, this planet's alive, but also she's like you. She's got a soul. She's got a personality, if you want to call it. And like that, we can be in communication. We are. And that's kind of, many times in my life, and I'll talk self, but generally this kind of goes for all, is that when we lose touch with our hearts, we lose touch with communicating with, truly communicating with what's around us. And the more we tune into heart, the more we recognize that communication was always flowing. We tune into our heart some more, and we hear it more, and we're like, wow, what's going on here? And look at this new thing. It ain't new. This is what I'm getting at. And it comes clearer. It comes clearer. It's being amplified. And this is the beauty of the Emerald Table, sharing this with friends and loved ones, sharing about the heart, sharing about how we share the dream of the world you have, your imagination, what you can truly imagine, the best thing for all. And share that. Not what happened in some drama, what happened in some story. Dream the dream you want into being. Because it's really already here. We just got to start tuning into it and recognizing it. And we do that by using our imaginations to remember what is. And for me, what is a joyous, loving, sharing life with all. And that isn't a tomorrow. That isn't a past for me. That's a now. When I use my imagination for that, to remember, that's a now thing. Like I said, it's like your imagination is really what clears the distortion to see what actually is here. What else is actually here? Behind the drama. Beyond the distortion. When I mean beyond, actually, it's where you're standing. Wherever you actually might be. It's not like you have to go someplace else. No, it's right here. It's basically we're tuning out that distortion, that limiting frequency band where we limited ourselves. We're tuning out those parts. And we're transmitting ourselves, our own signal, stronger, because it's always transmitting. Your heart's always beating. Otherwise, you wouldn't be here. Well, it seems that maybe there are some, I don't want to call them beings, some things around without a heart that are here. And if they don't have the best interest of all, well, I'll see you later. thanks for playing. Aloha. There's no separation. They're just going someplace else where we're not affected, infected, defected by the bullshit. And we are graced with the love, with our love. And that's what I see clearer. And it doesn't take much to see this. And I feel it really helps that it's so-called 4:31 in the a.m. here in the Dreamtime. And I don't want to put numbers to it. It's more like, if I want to describe it, I wouldn't describe it by this numbers of time. I would describe it because if it was 4:31, so many months ago, it was very dark here still. The stars would be, well, I know the moon is, pretty full up in the sky at the moment, reflecting the light of our soul from the sun. And in this way, a better way to describe the so-called time on that is, well, it's about half an hour to an hour to the light changes. The light's changing, but you feel what I'm saying, where we'll see a brighter light on the horizon. Some more colors will come into the picture. And I'm really blessed to come to a place, and you don't have to come here. You can recognize it in different, wherever you are. This is the beauty. You are it. You are all also. So we can look around ourselves if we need to have that point of reference to, tune into this remembrance where we truly lived before. About living. Didn't say working. Mike, what you're describing, well, we'd have to plow the fields and whoever else do you want, throw the nets, and isn't that work also? I didn't see that as work, actually. When you're doing it for yourself and your community, that's not work. When you have to sell it for something to survive, in a way, even though I say in a way because we're truly living, if we take a moment out to recognize. So with this, when you come to the heart of Aloha, there is a sign. Well, if you happen to look. And it says, slow down. You move too fast. Got to make this moment last. I've been blessed to live in a few places on this planet where it was a way of life of the people who lived here, who live here. It was beyond a philosophy. It was the way where people are like, it's really, well, they use the word slow, but it's beyond this idea of slow. We're not busy. We're not stuck into that time constraint. And I was blessed to be in a few communities where they really held that strong. It was really it was their way of living. And still it is at their hearts. It's at the heart of all of us, and that's why we can remember it, tune into it, resonate with it, because we feel it, and we're like, yes. And how we can relate it to a busy mind is priorities. And we have a shift in priorities. Work, even if we're still working for money to put food on the table and a roof over our house, it's down the list. It's down the list of priorities. It doesn't mean you don't go do it if you have to do it. Well, we're still playing this game, but it isn't your priority. And people use, well, that's not being responsible. I'm like, it's being totally responsible. Because you got responsible to self, to live first. Yeah, but we're going to do that when we retire. When you retire? Yeah, I know why it's called retire, because you were tired the whole time you were working, and now you're retired because you finished working, and now you're just, oh, fuck. Yeah, you're tired again. Because, yeah, finally you stopped. Right? Stopped working finally. And now you can be tired again. I don't play that. The life didn't show me that. And it wasn't because Mike's some genius. I give pretty much all credit to nature and those around me. All is self, self is all. Thank you so much. Because in many ways, you all guided me to me. Thank you for being here and showing me this. And we share also. And with that, we're going here. This is Gaia Sophia dreaming. Welcome to the core. It's so beautiful when, well, we get to dance again. And there's something till there's a little bit of background noise. Let me see if I can fix that. Okay, Janet, you here? All right, let me try this.
Yeah, I'm here.
All right. Okay, yeah. Yeah, what I want to share is I've kind of put this music on hold, even me listening to it. It's been weird. I've had, finally, when I left where I was living before in Goa, one of my friends, Alan, he was the, what do we call him? Amongst many other things. He was the collector of the music. All the music came to him. And usually I wouldn't collect any music. I would always go to where it was playing or to a friend's house to listen. And I had a feeling things were shifting and I'd be moving locations, so I recorded a bunch of music. And with the idea of getting it organized and put in together and share it. And I've watched almost 10 years roll on, and it hasn't happened. And I went, wow. It's really, for me, I could look at it as, oh, what haven't I done? It's really staying in its free form. As it was introduced to me. And so it's almost like I don't know the names of the tracks. I don't know the names of the people who made the tracks. I know the sound. And for example, that last tune, the bass in it, if you have some headphones or good speakers, the bass in that is really heart resonant. It is it tunes you. It can tune you right in. And I love it. That's all I got to say, and I'm happy to share it. I hope you guys enjoy it, because I got more of it, and it's going to start flowing, because this is, in a way, beyond me. I might be pressing play, but as we say, it's Gaia Sophia dreaming. In service with her. And wow, I'm so happy, because there's so much beauty and love flowing from the heart. And the more we tune into it, it's just like, wow, there's just more and more. And yeah, I have a big smile on my face, because this is kind of, I'm remembering this. It's not like, oh, yeah, like, thank you for reminding me once again what is here for us. It's amazing when you, it's not amazing, it's actually what happens. When you shut the TV off, when you stop filling your mind with lamestream bullshit and tune into something else. And many times it's just like, you don't even have to go cold turkey in this one. This is what I'm saying. If you're watching 4 hours of TV every day, now you're watching almost 2 hours, and you're listening 2 hours to Outside the Box with Kay the Gaia, or Mark Passio, or 7. Tune into Astral Quest, The Resistance 2010. there is so much. There's in the quite recent that will fill all your programming hours that you were seeking before through the TV or the radio. There's so much truth being shared with the heart from more and more beings that you're resonating with, and they're reminding you of the truth you also know, because it wasn't someone else's, it was all of ours, and things will just change, shift rapidly. And it's the old adage, in with the new, out with the old. And I mean, and many times the new, K-N-E-W, the truth. You knew this. You know this. And in with more healthier food, healthier air, healthier water, and the crap goes out quite naturally. And when that happens, you're going to have different perspectives on your reality. You're not going to be clouded by judgment in polarity. Your heart's going to be more open, and you're going to be more at ease with what is. And you're going to resonate more with that. And what is truth, beauty, love, laughter, joy. This is what is. This is our interconnectivity. This is what we naturally share and give one another. We just had a habit of giving ourselves some pain for a while. That's over. And because when you realize that when I say, why is it over? Because when you recognize what is the base, what is the foundation, what can grow, what actually grows from here, you realize, well, that stuff that caused me harm and pain and torture and some other stuff I'm not too fancy about, it can't grow. It doesn't grow in this ground. It's not in this foundation, this base. It's not here. And this ground is the higher order we've been trying to go. It's not up there in heaven. It's your feet on the ground. And then your head's no longer in the clouds or the distortion. Playing that game where we caused harm to ourselves and one another. So that no longer is in the base, in the foundation, and that's why I say, well, if you choose, this is here for you. And the other, well, we've been getting it here where I'm at. The winds of change have been swirling, blowing hard, and it's been quite intense in moments. I mean, extreme pressures and winds coming directly from the north, bringing that Arctic message. And everything comes to the heart, so it's no surprise. And wow, what I'm hearing and tuning in with and remembering is that what we call weather, and what, if you tune into the news, it's the weather report. It's the weather report. That is one desensitization program to disconnect you with Mother Nature. It becomes an impersonal thing. Even when they name the storms, it's an impersonal thing. It's what happens to you. It's just the weather. There's no rhyme or reason to it. Oh, it was this storm front that started here. It had nothing to do, actually, with what they've been telling you. There's a deeper, clearer reality to the winds blowing, the rains falling, however we've been representing nature and just calling it the weather. These are forces of nature. Rain doesn't just fall. That's water moving through. That's truth. Water, you could say, impregnated with truth, dispelling all fears. This is the wind sweeping up all limiting thought forms and taking them out to sea, where they can no longer cause harm. How else do you see nature? Sharing her bounty, clearing our fields. And the field I'm talking is love. So we're no longer tuning into vibrations that cause division, separation, cause us to act in a dualistic mindset. This is what nature does. It's not the weather. It's not some impersonal force. And Mike, but what do you mean by personal, impersonal? Well, so many times we've referenced the planets as being impersonal. No, they're just there, even on a zodiacal level. No, it's, you can't make this personal. Don't make that into a being, Mike. Well, if all is inside of me, it's personal. Hello. Aloha. So when I look outside to reflect on this, to reflect in this, and I see Venus and Saturn and Jupiter and the moon and the sun and the earth, it's personal. So when the rain comes through, the water comes through in this form, when the winds bring the, what you could say, moisture from the north, the clouds gathering up energy from the sea, wind blowing them over here and sharing that with me. The sun and the light and the warmth that our soul is reminding of me, that the sun ain't this impersonal thing. How could it be? It's one of the portals we came through to be here. There's an aspect of us there. Well, what do you mean there? Right here in the core of your heart. And it's lovely. Aloha. A little romantic love song there. I love listening to music. I found out that I have no idea what the words are. And this happened quite a while back for me. And it was part of, I think, me getting over me. Because I would many times be like, what does that say? What do those words mean? And, you know, I knew I wasn't going to go look it up, or even back in the day where the internet and Google and all that jazz wasn't so easy to get to. I would listen, and instead of being paranoid or like, oh, what I want to know the words, I would just kick back, listen to the sounds, and enjoy. It doesn't matter what the words are saying. It's the tones. It's the heart resonance that it connects with. And I've listened to quite a few, I'll call it pieces of music, but let's find a better word for this. I've listened to, I've heard a few that have really been transcending. And I don't mean like the music I was playing earlier, the Goa trance. I mean similar to what I just played here, what just was shared here. And that I've gone into trance. I've checked out, or tuned in and, come back 10, 20 minutes later, like, and recognizing that it was the music I was listening to that sent me, had that power to tune that resonance in. And you'll hear this with certain voices or music that have that power to assist you in tuning in and transcending the limiting construct we sometimes put ourselves in, and open up in that moment to whatever is here for you. And that's a unique thing because we're each unique. So don't expect the person next to you to have the same experience that you're having. Sometimes it happens. We are in a shared dream. What's also true is that there'll be some things unique to you. And that's beautiful. And we get to share that with each other. And that brings a big smile to my face, because it's how we live. It's just reminding we live like this. It's how we live. Shut up. Gaia. Beautiful beings, units, gamers, everything.
Their walls are falling. The momentum is now with us. It's our time now. At the most pivotal point in history is Critical Mass Radio, 24/7 Truth Radio. Help us to help you. Please go to www.criticalmassradio.co.uk and subscribe £1, £2 or £3 a month. The critical mass has been reached. We must come together. We must stand together for ourselves, for each other, for our future generations. criticalmassradio.co.uk. Now, it's our turn.
Yeah, come together. This is what it's about. coming together. Well, we are together, and we're remembering that. Our hearts were never apart. And while we still have monopoly money to play with, and if all your bills are paid, and you have enough money if you want it to project out for the next, 3, 4 bullshit years in that make-believe world that doesn't exist anymore. That's why I say there's people sitting on, this is what I want to relate it to. If you're sitting on a bunch of monopoly currency, it's showing your level of spiritual constipation. You need to give it out as pure as you can. Share it. Otherwise, brother and sister, you are so constipated. I was sharing this with a friend the other day. I was like, you got too much money? To me, it's just a sign you're constipated, man. You got a lot of clearing to do. Unless you're already of the mind or with the heart where you've got a lot of currency and you are already in that giving and sharing mode. You're not perpetuating another business idea and charging people again. It's like, what? You want to get constipated in another way? Good God, there's only so many organs you can block up, mate. You don't want to live? How much of that currency are you going to collect? Because I tell you, at one point, you ain't going to be able to shit that out. You're going to be so constipated, man, like that, you're going to explode, man. Implode, explode. Well, I don't know. You might choose another way. Burn right up. I don't know. Because it's basically poison after a point. It's toxic to the system. It's toxic to your natural being. So I'm sharing it with you now. If you got a lot of this monopoly currency, and whatever, whether it's in paper form, gold form, ones and zeros on a computer screen, you are highly constipated, and my heart feels for you, and I'd like to see you get rid of it. It's not healthy for you. And one way you can do that, and this is your spirit talking to you, is to stop playing business and start giving and sharing and making yourself, your community, whole again. We're no longer party to that limited mindset, that dualistic way of seeing things where someone else is another. All is self. So, of course, this is the way to flow. Yeah. Because otherwise it's fear. You're holding on to fear. And you call it philanthropy. I'm like, wait a second, I gotta look at this philanthropy thing that they're saying is such a good thing. I'm like, because you got billions. When you give it away, it's philanthropy. And then we think, oh, these people are good. Look, they're sharing. They're giving. And I'm like, yeah, I wish it was something like that for their own sake, right? I don't wish harm or ill on another. I'm trying to remind you to take a leave of that. You know, be absent from that. Take a break from that old game. And take a break from yourself to look at yourself, to see how this might not be truly what you want to do or what you intend it to do. Did your intention get distorted? take a moment out of your busy existence to live and to reflect on this. And maybe you'll recognize that wasn't my intent, what I set up to do, what I was trying to do. If that wasn't your intent, change it. If your intent was truly to help humanity, to end slavery, to emancipate humanity, to clear the planetary system, then come on, let's do. Please, all are welcome. So sometimes we need to take that, what we call time out. Yeah, literally, take a time out. So you can see this. And in my own life, I do that. It's like, take a breath. What's going on here? And we get out of that action, reaction, action, reaction, action, reaction. Or more appropriately, reaction, 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 reaction. There's no true action going down. So when we talk about it being action, reaction, no, it's more reaction, reaction. Because if we were truly acting, we would stop that game we play with each other's and self. So I'm going to read something. Janet, you have anything you'd like to share? Chime in with? I know you have some beautiful things you create.
Oh, thank you, Mike. I watched Ghost Rider last night, and that kind of just jumped out at me a lot of different things that we've been talking about at the Emerald Table. It's the old movie, like from 2007. Have you seen that with Nicolas Cage?
Yes, I have. And then
Yeah.
they made another one.
Oh, they did?
Yeah.
Hello.
Yeah, I've seen the first one. Flaming down the road on his bike.
Yeah.
Trying to connect with love again. Trying to make it right, yeah?
Yep, exactly.
Yeah.
Who was that talking? Alvita?
Yes, hello.
Hello.
Hi, I made it.
Yes.
Yep, I've been listening. I had to set my alarm this morning because I'm not an early person, so it takes me a while to get myself together in the morning. But I'm here. I've been listening, so I've been in the shower with me and everything.
Living.
Yeah, good to hear the show. Glad to be here. So peaceful.
It's like what I'm recognizing is what's opening up the heart. And I'm like, wow, we got 3 hours here in the early, and then on some days another hour or two of Kate, of Guy, and whoever tunes in, and then in the afternoon, the Emerald Table outside the box, another 2-3 hours. I'm like, wow, we got 8 hours covered in the day. I'm like, wow, this is, and then I'm like looking, okay, what else is broadcasting? Because we're sharing, we're all transmitting from our heart. We're amplifying this frequency. We're amplifying this vibrational connection. And I'm watching how, yeah, man, the heart wants to be heard. The heart wants to be heard.
Mhm. Yeah, it's been quiet for so long.
Yep. No longer being a herd of sheep, so to say. Now it's like, hear me roar. You know.
Right.
Gaia Sophia. I'm sharing with you. She's saying it. Hear me roar.
Yes. And I was listening to you talk about the winds. It's those winds in Hawaii. That's one of the main things I loved about it was the wind. It was great. That was an awesome feeling. I was like, I never felt wind like this before. You just open the doors up, let it blow through the house, you know? Yeah, I never, ever closed my windows at night, you know? They stayed open all the time. Yeah. And they're kind of, they get tricky sometimes, too, because you get them powerful winds.
Yes.
Wow.
This is what we've been getting. We haven't been getting the warm trade winds. That really is one of the things that Eire is known about, the warm trade winds. It's soothing. It's you're with nature. You leave the windows open. You're living inside outside. You transcend the walls. And that's the really natural living. But when, like Alvita was just sharing, these other winds, and this is what I was talking about, we've been getting these cross winds. You'll look up in the sky, and you'll look in the channel, and you'll see clouds going in 4 different directions. And you'll feel the wind one moment coming this way, next moment going that way, and you're like, wow, what's going on here? And well, life. Really, we're in one way in the center of a vortex. And then you see in some moments the swirling of energies just coming from every which way. And it's really, well, I want to share something. And let's see. I was reminding someone the other day, and if you haven't ever, her name is Karen Bishop. I hope I got that right.
Oh,
yes,
yeah.
Karen Bishop.
Oh, no. Okay.
If anyone isn't, you can go to gammabooks.com, and you can click on her post page. It says temporary post page. And I want to share something. This is someone that I've read over the past few years where, you know, back in like 2008, 2009, that window of opportunity kind of, well, I don't want to call it opportunity. Well, it was opening up. Ascension was here. New Earth was here, and it just didn't quite land, so to say. People chose else. People still chose the drama. And here we are again at this. We've landed. That's why we know game is over this time. And she started writing again and sharing again because we've been going through some intense months. Last few months. And it kind of, I would read these, and it would just really bring it home to me, a heart. And again, people have their each perspective, and it's like, Alvita, what you share so much, and from different, like, wow, like you said, pow, you know, here we are. And so I was going to read this. And with it came the feelings of hope. April 1st arrived with a bang. The energies of the heart came barreling in, filling the empty spots in our oh-so-empty selves and bringing with it sudden feelings of great gratitude and love for anything and everything around us. The energy targeted our hearts, so in this way, the area of our bodies was most affected. Upper back pain, chest discomfort could be felt as well. And still, the final stage at the end of a great birthing requires much sleep and rest, just like any normal labor. A massive labor pain, then exhaustion. Sleep, then excitement. Okay, I'm interjecting. We're, in many ways, this is what she's referring to is Gaia's birthing a new world. This is in many ways what we're describing. The intense pressures, what we're feeling, is this kind of squeezing through the birth canal, if you like to envision it in that way. So I'm going to continue. Intense would probably be an understatement for this newly arriving energy, but intense has been the norm for the past few months anyway. How could things possibly get more intense? Well, they have. Body aches and pains, jittery nerves and shakiness, difficult breathing, belching, feelings of anxiety and a racing heart, and whatever else unique to each of us arrived along with this new energy. At the same time, the earthquake activity intensified as well. When the earth is opening to receive new light in readiness for a higher vibration, she opens and allows, resulting in deep and extreme quake activity that allows for this adjustment. Okay, this me interjecting here. Just like our body, just like she's referring to our body, all these different things, each unique. We're clearing energy, clearing out some old stuff, some old air. You hear your body sometimes gurgle. What was in there? It's like it's not a fart. It's like you got sometimes trapped air in different parts of your body, it feels like. Okay, so I'm going back to what she was sharing. For many of us, we are on differing timelines with our experiences in regard to ascension. Some may feel some things at one time and others at another. There are also times when we feel things in unison. On 4/4/2014, we experienced the grounding of this energy. A tremendous amount of pushing and pressure could be felt, making some of us wonder if a human body was meant to ever survive this kind of pressure. But thank goodness it only lasted for a day. So then a much higher vibrating energy of the heart arrived along with the advent of April. We felt it along with gratitude and great love, even though we may have felt as though our insides were buzzing, quivering and shaking, or perhaps that we had overdone the chocolate. And then this energy was grounded and stabilized through intense pressure and pushing, along with some intense earthquake activity. Phew! Okay, so here's me again. This is what we're sharing about. This is the planet alive, the winds of change, rain. We've had so much rain here, and there's many other places going through, different activity. Things are moving. But there is more. The goodness is beginning to arrive as we begin to gain footing, like I'm sharing. Our feet are on the ground, or much more of a foothold as we are making so much progress in regards to shifting into a planet of the heart. This light is beginning to take hold and really hold. New doors are beginning to open, solutions are beginning to arrive, things are beginning to come to us. Unity is beginning to make itself known, and in this, hope is beginning to peek through the darkness and whisper in our ears. Could it be? Is this nightmare for some of us finally nearing an end? Or will we tumble back once again into the crevice of the in-between as we watch the arrival of the new slip away and out of our grasp one more time? Somewhere in there we know, something in us is aware that something is about to occur if we choose to stay in surrender and allow it to happen. Okay. Let me continue on. This is a profoundly magical time when we are about to burst into a completely different reality. A time for rebirth is at hand. This is why we have had to let go of the oars and allow the angels, as Kate reminds us, the cab driver, your higher self, to take us through. This is why we needed to be free and clear of so much. This is why so much had to end and why we had to be stripped bare. This is why we need to really let go now and simply allow the process to unfold. When we lose our foundation and ground and experience God or our higher self holding us, planet, Gaia Sophia holding us, Mother Earth, rocking in her arms, you trust, you know in your heart, it is then that we know we are ready for this crossing. So even though we may be experiencing a new unity or find that new doors are opening, we also know that these are glimmerings of things to come. Things are making themselves known because we are so very close. With the intense energy that has recently arrived, many of us are feeling a strange new hope, a happiness, a new lightness of heart, and for good reason. April will be a month where we all can do is hold onto our hats. With the lunar eclipse on April 15th, the Earth's shadow will be darkening a full moon and give us the opportunity to look into the shadows, a final release. The Grand Cross alignment beginning on April 20th and commencing on April 23rd will serve to really push us through into something very, very new. No turning back. This is it. Prepare for great change. And then she has Easter Sunday, celebrating the resurrection of Jesus Christ, and also miraculously occurring on April 20th, will serve to place many in the energy of this massive push-through into the new. Although Christianity is certainly not the only spiritual platform, it will assist nonetheless. After this 4-day process is complete, on April 28th, we will experience a solar eclipse. Solar eclipses also herald a very new beginning. So in all of this, we are receiving a tremendous amount of assistance, not only through the angels or the energies around us, who are literally taking us where we need to go, but through the loving and supporting energy of the cosmos. This is what we're getting at. The planet, the cosmos, the galactic core, this is all one. They're not on different, doing different things. This is unison to the core. Everything is involved with this plan and striving to make sure it is a complete success. There is so much love present with this event, it is mind-boggling. Well, not anymore. We have so much help now, so much love surrounding us, and so much support for this rebirth, if even at times only in the unseen world, that all we need really to do is surrender to the process, or flow with the know, the K-N-O-W, and let us take us where we need to go, while we hold on to our hats in between much-needed naps. My heart to yours, Karen. This is, you can go to Gamma Books. The arrival of the heart energy. Why I share her message is she's always helped me to connect with my heart and tune into that when, so much was just, whether it was depression in some ways, disappointment, confusion, even all of that going around, what's going on, what's happening. And this is why the Emerald Table has been such a blessing for many of us. It reconnected us with the heart, with our hearts even more and more. I don't even want to say reconnecting it. It's just assisting us in tuning into that frequency more and more. And so there's another one. I check from time to time. Oh, has she written a new post? Because it's beautiful. And many times before we've, could come to the Emerald Table outside the box and share, and other avenues, other ways. We've been doing this. Many times it was only something we could read. There wasn't any people we could speak with about this, really. We would try, and we sure did. Yeah. Sometimes it was a few.
Oh, yeah.
It's good to connect with other people, even if it was just something they wrote that we could read, that we were like, oh, I'm not in this alone. There's somebody else resonating with me like this. Thank you.
Yeah. Exactly. I was like, oh, yes. And then I just kept getting more and more, because when I did move to Hawaii, that's, when I had my awakening, and then it's just like download after download, and I just couldn't believe it. The information was just coming from out of the air, and I'm like, what in the heck? Like you said, you don't have nobody to talk to, or you try to explain it, and people think you're crazy, and, but I enjoyed it. Every bit of learning, everything I'm learning, I'm enjoying it so much. Like, wow. You just have to forget everything you learned, everything.
You have this one? I had to get over this, and it was getting over it with myself. I would share with people, and they'd be like, you're crazy, or what are you talking, or it would just, like, tune me out. And it would be maybe a week, sometimes it was months, sometimes it was years. Mm-hmm. The person would come back to me and share what I shared with them and be like, hey, da-da-da-da, and I'd be like, yeah, I shared that with you, and I'd be like, and they'd be like, what? No, you didn't. And they're like, now they're teaching me, and I'm like, now my ego's getting up, so here's my aspect of the game I needed to. I'm like, great, you got it. And I'm like, great, you got this now, wonderful. Thanks for sharing it with me too. Because before I'd be like, well, why didn't you? I'd get into that. My ego would be like, well, Mike, here's it coming back, confirmation. Whether it was a week, a moment, or a year, we're getting that now.
Yes, exactly, and that's another thing. I kept getting confirmations, you know, 'cause I would talk to mostly my son and my daughter, you know, because they're pretty woke, and every time I would speak to them, I would get a confirmation of what I said, and I was like, oh my God, you know, and I just was, it was just so crazy good that I was like, oh my God, what's going on here? Yeah, it's definitely happening, and it's real.
Yeah.
It's really real.
Let me give the guest call-in number. It's 347-326-9530. That's 347-326-9530. If you're familiar with Blog Talk and Skype, have fun. Find your way in. Press 1.
Yeah.
You know this word, and I don't know if we've Kate's broken it down. I'm pretty sure she has, but I'm going to bring it up right now. We say wake up. So we've all probably been to a wake before, you know, where the body is laid out to rest, to be shown. You know, before the casket is closed, we go to the wake. And we've been saying in this, what we've been terming ascension. We're like, wake up. So you imagine, and then we talk about in many ways, when you're playing in the dead fictional world, what we would really call the land of make-believe. It wasn't me, it wasn't my imagination that was what I'd like to call the make-believe. What I was trying to share, you're just dreaming, that's make-believe, Michael. No, what you guys are doing is make-believe, truly. That has no basis in actuality and reality. That's what we've been terming fictional, or you know the what's the other word? The copy.
Yeah, I'm thinking of the wake. The only one that's wake at the wake is the dead one. We are the dead ones looking at the wake one, you know.
Yeah, that's what I was getting at. And we're saying,
that's so funny because it's true. You know?
Yeah.
We going to the wake, looking at somebody we think is dead, which they're more alive than we are. We the dead ones. Oh, it's so crazy world.
Yep. They're out of that dualistic mind where we've been playing in the dead realm. They're like, I'm free of that.
Yeah, Kate helped us get that all straightened out, didn't she?
So you go to the funeral home or wherever you go, and there's the body lying out, and you're like, wake up, and you see some comedy, whether it was the Three Stooges or something, and they're like hiding in a casket. Or you see it in something, you know what I mean, and the body rises, hey, I wasn't dead, here I am. So you go to the wake, the body literally wakes up. So I'm seeing that, and that's what we're doing. It's like we're going to, like, really, this is going to happen to so many of us. They're lying in their bed. All of a sudden, they're going to just wake up in the morning and be like, oh, I'm alive. What the fuck was I doing before? Whew. Because that program is no longer going to run in your brain, in your hard drive, in your reality.
Yep.
No longer going to run, and really, when that's no longer running you, it will seem like a whole new world to you.
Mm-hmm.
In many ways, it might be, because we've been running for so long in this old program that we truly weren't living.
Yeah. So true. Because I'm be so happy when more people wake up. Oh gosh. Oh, the lightning come down and strike them awake. Oh, boy.
A jolt right up their Jaxie.
Yeah. I don't want to hurt them. I just want them to wake up now.
No. Charge right up their ass. Oh yeah. I'll stop playing at that. Thank you. Yes. Drop the dead monkey.
Mm-hmm.
Why are you carrying a dead monkey around in your left brain? Drop it.
Exactly.
Reach in there with your hand. Now it's in your hand, and drop it.
Mm-hmm. And the system, we set this game up so good that when we do talk to somebody, no matter what type of education they have, they don't get it, you know. And the smarter you are, the dumber you are, you know, because it's like, well, you don't know what the hell you talking about, you know. Or they'll listen to you, but all the while they saying, this bitch is crazy. You know, but it's just so crazy. It's like the ones that you think can help you out through this, the educated ones, they the worst one, you know. I was like, oh,
yeah,
my goodness.
They're full of more of the crap.
Yeah.
They're full of more hot air.
Put it
this way.
Yeah.
They're more programmed,
Yeah, yep.
So, like
programmed.
that, their ego is bloated, full of hot air, just like the archonic energy. And when the planets get out of proportion, they blow themselves up to be these gas giants.
Yeah.
And they're not. Just a little pinprick.
Yeah.
Poof.
And it's just amazing.
All the hot air comes out. It's diffused. And you're laughing.
Yeah. Oh, gosh.
Because it's quite natural.
Janet.
Because all that hot air is a bunch of fear, and it's just being let out, and it's just disappearing. Bye-bye.
Yep. Yeah,
So,
that's so true. My sister was here one day when I was listening at the Emerald table, and she was sitting on the fence, and it was such an allegory because that's where she's at, and it's so funny.
Wow.
And then when she left, we had a little bit of a talk, and she was just saying, well, you know, it's a gray area. I'm like, well, the truth is the truth, and if you're standing in the truth, or otherwise you're standing in a pile of shit, and that's all I can see, and it's really coming really clear. And when she finally left, she said, yeah, you're right. And I was just like almost floored because I didn't think she would say that, but she really felt the energy. So I hope she's listening because that's Care Bear.
Hi, Care Bear.
Yeah, Care Bear. She's a Gemini, and it would be so great if she joined us. That would be so great.
Oh, okay. All right. Get that Gemini to the table. Calling all Gemini.
She was always the talker, and I was the walker, and she always talked for me because when I was little, I never talked. I was terrified to talk, and she was the talker. Whatever I wanted her to say, she would say it for me. So funny.
Mirror, mirror.
Mirror, mirror.
You know, there's so much in this moment, you know, and it's before where it might have been overwhelming and we would just tune out to most of it. When we have that moment really to sit in the nature, it isn't too much. You actually can take it all in. It's just quite naturally. You're not overloaded with it, and the moment is full. It's It's full in a very positive way. And this is the life that we're all waking up to. It's not this busy beehive mentality anymore. It's a life full of grace and service and love and service to self. And when I mean service, we're out of this idea of give and take. That's usually where we refer to give and take. And to me, that's not resonating. And when we tune in and remember, it's a real natural flow of sharing. There's no expectation on the return. And this is what is coming clearer. Because you already have a full plate. And so it's this symbiotic, synchronistic sharing of divine abundance. That's what's here for us, guys. Gals.
Yes.
So I'm gonna share what I shared the other day, and this is from 7. And here it goes. I'm sure this will assist. It's a synchronistic thing. If every time we hear about the universe's diverse strangeness, we go into fear, this cannot be seen any different than how you feel when the curtain is about to raise, and it is your first time performing in front of an audience, or a million other things that cause the same frequency. Experience is the key. You must become firm, stable, weathered. Bend your mind without it breaking. It is clear that you return to these phases of new fear because you are a seeker by nature. In times when everything was calm, perfect, namaste, you knew there was another layer. Guess what? You're headed in the right direction. Soon the term all is self will have greater meaning to you and serve to calm the restless spirit within. Anything you fear, you must eat. You are bigger than all this. Keep that in mind. Lastly, the Code of the Matrix was written approximately 4 years and stands as a beacon to a mind making its way out of a wilderness of who, what's, whens, what, where's, etc. In those kind of moments when the mind has become fully aware of the spiritual plane, everything must be scanned, everything is false until it proves itself true, even God good. As a final note, let me clarify in regards to this statement step by step. The last thing I want is to fear, especially the one who created all things. I've always wanted to believe this being is pure love, not judgmental or egotistical, thus needing worship. This is a paradox. It just so happens that the one who created all things is you, us. We all did it together. And the event we all pull together, that will be obvious and apparent. You can even imagine it now because it was and is. Watched last show, there is always one missing from your inner world. Development, until you accept it as you. Until then, there will be gods, aliens, demons, fragrals, and all sorts of things running around the mind unchecked. I had no choice but to eat them, hence the number 8 or 8. This is the step before you become a 9, then whole or 0 again. What places you in fear, I don't want to say 0 again, whole or 0 point, maybe again. What places you in fear is bitter medicine, meaning you oftentimes don't want to hear about netherworld actions and behavior. Such conversations are dense, but they make great foundation walk on them with no fear. But I am doubting it is possible for pure love to even exist. I really wonder why evil has a much stronger effect on everything and everyone than good has. Both exist to the dual mind. One is stronger and the other weaker, based on the world's magnification, meaning what cycle it's on. Imagine the universe as a giant lunar cycle. Sometimes it waxes, sometimes it wanes, so it is in itself caught in time. You are timeless, so you do have the ability to exit stage left with proper training and then jump back in time when you wish, as the world moves much slower while you are in dream time. Surely you don't believe true love can actually be defined, and that means our idea of love is fabricated while in division. The vast mind, vast face, omniscience decided everything was the best expression of love. It was all given to us. Yet we refuse the bulk of it. The great thing is we are with you, and there are lots of people here that will assist, arriving on all sides to comfort you in your process. They are the true companions, no matter how long it takes, since time is not a factor for the soul force. P.S. There is no souls, only soul, as the word indicates. Together. Thank you, 7. Thank you all. And it just comes right to the heart of it. That's why I like to share that again. We are the soul force. We are the enforcers.
The second coming.
And with us looking into these deep crevices, shadows, darkness, if you even want to call it, we transcend the old reality that was playing out. This is what we're doing. When we tune into our imagination, into Dreamtime, into the dreaming that we share, the dream where we all live in love and harmony with each other, that exists right now in this moment. When we tune into this dreaming, this is what is shared more and amplified, not the old signal of division, of duality, but the one of unity, of heart and soul. So please, use your imagination to amplify this, to transmit this signal from your heart to all. Inside, outside, any which way, in tone. Imagine it in your mind, imagine it in your heart, imagine it all around you in the world playing out. How we live in love and harmony with one another. No longer see it how we've been living in competition and duality with each other. We've had enough examples of that. We don't need to share that aspect anymore. We were playing the non-living game doing that. Now we're living. When we live, it's as one. The heart beats as one. This is love. This is the field we play in, we lie down in, we do everything in. This is what the heart shares. Woo.
Here.
So about 9 minutes left in the show. Well, in the transmission. And it doesn't end. It doesn't stop. This is what I'm sharing. We're doing this in all moments. Our heart, soul, essence is expressing. And I'm thankful. Very much.
Me too. Very. So grateful. So we could be on the other side, you know. We could be sleepers. But we are the chosen ones, you know, and that feels great. I'm so glad to be the chosen one. I couldn't see myself being anything else but that, you know. the one to share love and spread it and talk it and feel it and all of that.
So as it's been described as the planet is birthing a new world, so to say. She is in herself going through the birthing process into a higher conscious existence. And that doesn't even quite sound clear to me, but I'm trying to get this picture clearer to be able to describe it. And there's different ways we see it, and we're just referencing different perspectives, and that is really beautiful. And in this moment, what I'm recognizing is we all are going through this portal of the heart. That's what's being, if you want to imagine it as being birthed. This new world being birthed is this one. It's because when we all come back into the heart and we go through here, we're no longer creating a world in fear. We're back tuned in to the world of love that is here in all ways. So we're tuning back into our portal and coming out of the fear that we were projecting outside, coming back through the portal of love into the heart. And when we open our eyes again, we're not living in a dualistic world anymore. We're not in a world of division and separation. We're in a world of unity, clarity, love, one. There's not another. There's not that projection of separation. And that's why I mean there's not another. There's not that idea of separation anymore playing. And this is what we're waking up into, what we're adjusting to, what we're tuning in with. Because this is actually, if we saw our feet clearly, this is where our feet are planted and rooted into. With. Connected with. And these are free. This isn't you're stuck in this when I mean rooted. This is your base, this is your foundation. This is where you truly now can fly. This is truly now, because if you were never connected to your base, where your roots are, you're not flying. You're just kind of like a balloon tossed around in the wind at the mercy of the fates. And that's what we were doing before in the fictional realm, in the distortion, in the matrix, and that's finished, come to an end. Kalash.
That's right.
So if anyone else would like to, please chime in. 3 minutes, please do.
Namaste, Michael.
Aloha.
Aloha. Beautiful day here. Sun got the back of my head warm.
Yeah, the birds are singing here.
That's beautiful. Yeah, I hear them. Yeah, it's just... What else is there?
Beautiful day to be alive.
Yeah. A chicken hawk just landed in a tree beside me. Escorted by a crow. The crow's watching him. The crow's watching him. Your ego's watching you. He's waiting for a weak spot. Actually, it's you, isn't it? You? I love it.
Yeah, that's where, again, nature's in communication with us. And through the animals, through the plants, the flowers, the wind, the rain. This is the universe. This is us. Again, when we recognize this, we're out of division. We're out of separation. So like that, it's this intimate communication. So we're no longer, oh yeah, we don't have this projection of somebody talking at us.
Hey.
Right.
And we don't create it. We don't create it in that moment either.
Right.
You know? And that's the biggest thing.
Yep.
When it's like what you said, Mike, when you shared with someone and weeks later they come back to you and talk at you like you never heard it before.
Yeah.
It used to drive me insane. I stopped talking to my children's mother because of it.
Yeah.
You know? And now I'm at the point where I just smile and just thank God that they chose themselves for that moment, you know?
Yeah.
Because it matters not where the information comes from. It's whether or not you accept it.
Yep.
And the sooner you accept that they've accepted it within themselves, sure gets easy.
Mm-hmm.
No matter what degree they are viewing their world from.
Mm-hmm.
The sooner you accept them, the sooner you moved into your own.
Yes.
And that's that whole 360 degrees, you know.
Yeah.
When a child asks a parent how many sides a circle has, they never have the answer because they're not on the inside looking out. They can't see the one side.
Mm.
A circle has one side.
Mm.
That's why I love circling the square.
Mm.
The square has got you split into four, and that circle can complete it.
Ah, so clear. Well, much
So
aloha to all those. We're about to roll over. Much love. Thank you for tuning in.
Mm-hmm. Thanks, Mike.
And yeah.
Thank you, Michael.
Yeah, thank you. Please continue. We have a few more minutes because, that was how you shared you love circling the square. How there's one side. You're going from a four-sided, in a way, constraint to what I'm perceiving as a one-sided clarity. Or you could make it now one trap. You know.
Beautiful. That's the truth.
Because many times we'll look at this, like the merry-go-round, a circle, and the imagery you just shared is like, wow, you can be stuck in that circle and you just see the same side going around and around and around, the same thing again and again, and then you square that, and you come out of that kind of loop, but you're into a box. And then you circle that, and you come out of the box, and instead of being in the merry-go-round, now from this point of perspective, you're clear of the sides.
Hey. Clarity, clear intent.
Yeah, no more limited reality.
None. You're seeing it for what it is.
Yes.
You know?
And with that, much aloha, much love all.
Much love.
All righty, everyone. Thank you. It's been a great morning.
Yeah, Elvita.
Love you, Elvita.
Love you, too.
You keep posting that beautiful stuff, I'll keep liking it.
Oh, yeah, I love it. Thank you all.
All right. See you at the Emerald Table, those who make it.
See you at the Emerald Table all today. Please tune in to the heart. Much love.
Much love.
All right.
Much love.